Hello, everybody. Greetings, grasshoppers. This is your RJ. And now for something completely different. We're going to talk about something completely different today. I know that you'll roll with me because you are my audience and you love me. But I think that a lot of people have issues with chronic pain. I have this friend right here and client, Jenny Harkleroad. She wrote a book that is releasing on this very day about that very subject. And I wanted to invite her to come and talk to us about what she does and why, who should be paying attention to this? Why is this important? All of those beautiful, wonderful things. Welcome, Jenny Harkleroad. How you feeling today?
I'm doing awesome. You're my third show this morning, so it's just like a ball of excitement. I love it. I'm having so much fun because today, like you said, is the big day. Yeah. So excited to have my new book out. Really, really excited about it. It's fun when you have an idea and then you see it to the end and it's like real. It's exciting. Yeah.
It must be something to hold that in your hands.
It is. Yeah, absolutely. I just got it in the mail the other day for the first time and was like, this is awesome. I remember a year ago it was an idea and now here it is. So yeah, beautiful. Love it. Love it.
Well, would you start off by telling the world who you are, what you do, where you are, why you do it, all of those bio questions that people ask you at the front of an interview?
Absolutely. So my name is Jenny Harkleroad. I'm the owner of Balanced You, and people who are suffering with chronic pain hire me to transform their pain because who likes suffering with chronic pain? It's debilitating and frustrating and maddening and depressing. And so what we do is we help them by reprogramming their subconscious mind. We set up a new automatic operating system for them, which is simple, powerful, and effective. And then they can live a life of their dreams, happiness, joy, fulfillment, and a pain-free life. So that is what I love to do and what I do best.
Now, once upon a time, and I know this because I read the book, once upon a time, you were like a real estate mogul.
They say that.
They say that. Aaron Strayer said it, so I'm repeating it because whatever she says, as far as I'm concerned, is the truth.
Yes, so, it's true. I was a realtor here in San Diego. I built up a team of 5 buyers agents and 2 full-time secretaries. We were producing double digits in the millions, and I did that for about 13 years. And I had the houses, the cars, the travel, all the fun stuff that came with those big bucks. But honestly, my greatest claim to fame are my 4 awesome kids who are 21, 18, 15, and 12. And so today I've changed paths, I've changed careers, and I'm excited to tell you why and how that all came to be.
Well, and it was technically kind of a bump in the road, if you will, or a bump on a hillside that made you change paths so drastically. Tell us a little about that, if you would.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was August 10th of 2013. My husband and I and family were camping, and we hiked up this mountainside with some friends. And when we were hiking down, my husband and I had kind of gotten separated from the group, and he looked down and he said, if I was young and in shape, I'd jump off of here. And I was feeling a little prideful because, people were struggling with this hike and it was so easy. I was a gym rat. I was on the stair climber 5 miles a day, no problem, right? So I was like, I'm young and in shape, and I jumped. And when I landed, I heard a big crunch in my back and I couldn't move. And I didn't want to move. It hurt really bad. And my husband called 911. Our friends started gathering around. And long story short, I had broken my back and Life Flight had to come get me. So when you break your back, you have some thinking time. And during my thinking time, I thought about my life. It looked really good from the outside. Married my high school sweetheart, have 4 beautiful children, have an amazing, successful business, have all the money. Like, who wouldn't want that, right? But on the inside, I had 3 secrets that I was keeping from everybody. And it was time to get real with my secrets. And my secrets were, number 1, I wasn't really passionate about what I was doing. It was like I found this way to make an incredible income, but it wasn't like, I mean, I liked working with people, but it was just like the field, the whole industry, the paperwork, the details, the houses, like I wasn't into it. I was into helping people. So I just did it because it made great money. And I wanted to do something that I was passionate about. I used to like daydream during my real estate meetings. Like, can you imagine if you did something that you were just like so excited about and you like didn't want to go to bed at night because you wanted to know more and you couldn't, you like wanted to get up so early, even on the weekend, because you were just so excited about it. Like, imagine what that would be like. And then I would tell myself, like, there's no such thing. Get back to work, you know, like stop your daydreams. So second secret was my marriage was really bad. We were struggling, especially me. My husband would be like, what's so bad? I don't know what's so bad. And I was like, oh, I'm dying here. I can't handle this. For, you know, a year and then 5 years and then 10 years and then 15 years and then 20 years. Well, you know, it wears on you. The only reason I'd kept it together was, you know, my beliefs in family and marriage, and also because I was putting on a show for everybody, right? It's a beautiful picture here. So I was like, how am I going to fix this? You know, we've been to therapists and counselors and priests and prayers and, you know, like, how do we make this better? We can figure it out. And my third secret was I was struggling with chronic pain. I've been in pain pretty much most of my life, since elementary school, always with the school nurse. Middle school on prescription painkillers. In my 20s, having surgeries, diagnosed with several things, liver failure, surgeries, a bunch of things going on with me. And I was like, you know, I was faking that I was doing okay. I was taking about 30 ibuprofen a day, which is why I went into liver failure, because something was wrong with my liver. And, you know, I was like, I was putting on this show, and I couldn't put on a show anymore with a broken back in bed. I couldn't pretend I was great. And so I lay there thinking, how am I going to turn all this stuff around? What am I going to do? The doctors told me, you know, about 6 weeks, you'll start moving around a little bit and you'll be okay after that. And I wasn't. Sadly, I wasn't. 6 weeks came and went, and, you know, it was misery. I was in so much pain. And as the time went on, the pain got worse. And, you know, I've seen chiropractor, acupuncture, massage, kinesiology, all of it, trying to get better. And finally, 2 years later, I decided to have major surgery. They put in rods, screws, synthetic disc. I thought, you know, surgery's helped me before. It's going to help me again. Didn't help me. All it did was gave me a walker and a back brace and a bunch of incisions and metal in my back, which is not too comfortable to sleep on. Mm-hmm. So then it was like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to turn this all around? You know, it's getting really hard to pretend that everything's good. And so thankfully, I found a medical doctor turned kinesiologist, and really his form is emotional kinesiology, which I'd never even heard of. I went and saw him, 86 years old, visited him in his old adobe house, and he tells me that all my pain is emotional, my back pain. And I tell him he's crazy. And he tells me to leave. And I said, no, wait, okay. I mean, I've tried everything. What, you know, tell me your theory. It basically helped me understand that the subconscious is timeless, and that I had some brain patterns, some subconscious patterns that were repeating in my mind and that were causing me pain, and they were tied to past emotional stuff in my life. And I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to buy it. I didn't like the idea. I didn't want to talk about my stuff, but I was desperate for help. And so I decided to stay. And 6 sessions later, to make a little bit longer story short, I was completely pain-free. Completely pain-free. Not only could I sit in a chair, I was doing back bends in yoga class. I mean, night and day. There was something to what this guy said. Right. How come the surgeons and the doctors at the hospital, how come none of them knew about this? I don't know, but it fascinated me, and I started studying the power of the subconscious mind. I learned the subconscious is 95 to 99% of the time in charge of how we feel, how we think, how we act, how we react, and what's going on in our life. And only 1 to 4% of the time we're mindfully in control. And so all this time I was looking in the mirror for 20 years saying, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm terrific. Liar, no, you're not. Well, it wasn't sinking into my subconscious. I was just, you know, I decided I wanted to feel that way and I was saying it, but it wasn't my programming. It wasn't me. I had to reset my programming. And back then I didn't even know you could do something like that. So, like always, we do the best we can until we learn something new. So I got over all my pain with this process. It fascinated me. I decided that this was my thing. This is how I was going to solve one of my secrets. I was passionate about this process. So I sold my big real estate business. I sold my house, and I started training in different modalities of subconscious change. And, the next miracle happened was I went to a 3-day training. I came home. I was in the process of leaving my husband. And when I saw him, when I walked in the door, I just felt this love for him. And I was so confused. And I was thinking, what just happened? Why am I feeling like this? I'm leaving him. And I realized that those 3 days that I had spent reprogramming myself, getting over my past traumas and dramas and pain, it healed me. And he was never the problem. It was me. It was all my own stuff, all my own internal stuff. And I was just blaming him because, he was always around. So it must be him. So,
common denominator.
Poor guy. Oh my gosh. You know how many times I've apologized since that day? I'm so sorry. It wasn't you. It was me. I'm sorry. Yeah, transform things, because here's what's going on. I had all these open wounds from my past. So it was like my trauma level was here. He would do the littlest thing and it would take me over the edge, right? And then my trauma level dropped to nothing. He would do some little thing and it would come to my ankles and I wouldn't even notice it, right? Totally transformed our relationship. So the pain's gone, the relationship is fixed, found my passion. What could you want more than that out of life, right? So I'm so excited to share this with people, and specifically talking about chronic pain. I work with people in any category of their life, but I'm passionate about chronic pain because people in the US spend $40 billion per year on chronic pain. $40 billion, okay? There's a problem out there with pain. And when we're in pain, we think something is physically wrong with our body, but that's not necessarily the case. In my book, I go into all the reasons that you could be struggling with pain that are not physical, a lot of emotional things in the subconscious mind. It could be a trauma, it could be a person, a situation, an event, things in the subconscious that are triggering pain in the body. And so many times it goes to an old injury spot, darn it. And so we think it's still busted. There's still something wrong with my knee or my elbow or my shoulder, what's going on? And so we have a process at Balance You where we can tap into the subconscious mind and figure out what's going on and transform it. And so I love sharing that process with people because it's so simple and powerful and effective and quick. It actually opens the brain bridge, which is called the corpus callosum, connects both sides of the brain. It builds new neural pathways so that you perceive things differently. And when you perceive different, it actually changes your chemistry and your biology, changes you at a cellular level. So my job is watching people transform into their dream life. Can you get a better job than that? I don't think so. Well, maybe building bots. I know you have a lot of fun building bots, and you are the best bot maker. I'm so grateful for you. Besides that, there's nothing more exciting than watching people transform because, I think we're here for a reason. I think we're meant to do something. We have a purpose and a passion, and all this subconscious junk gets in our way and keeps us from accomplishing our dreams. Pain gets in our way and keeps us from accomplishing our dreams. So if I can share with people how to get past that, get through that, get over that in a very simple way, that's what I'm going to do. And that's why my book is out. So excited.
Yeah. Well, and you feel so passionate about it, you'll give people half an hour of your time.
Yes, I will, actually. And should I tell them how they can find me?
Well, how can people find you, Jenny Harkleroad?
Well, RJ made me the most awesome bot. So if you go to breakingtobeme.com, which is the name of my book, breakingtobeme.com, then my little beautiful bot is going to pop up and you're going to press start and you're going to get some options. You can read an excerpt, you can buy the book, or you can schedule a 30-minute complimentary consult with myself or one of my facilitators. we'll talk about what's working, what's not, what you want different in your life, and how we can help you transform it with the power of your mind. And you don't even have to be local. We can do it long distance. So it's amazing, simply amazing.
Yeah, it is great. I mean, I enjoy hearing you talk about this because uh, so many people have just one way of explaining whatever their big important idea is. You have at least 6. You
Okay.
have I've seen you do this many times, and you've done this with me too. You've adjusted your message to the person that you're talking to.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that one of the reasons that I really enjoy talking to you is because you will, you've learned that I'm much more of a science person than I am anything else. And I'm not one for ethereal things, basically.
Yeah.
So so you took the time to explain it to me in language that I would understand. And I mean, that is impressive to me. How did you learn to do this, Jenny?
Yeah, well, I mean, the basis of my work is the power of the subconscious mind. And so I studied the science of it. I studied like with Bruce Lipton and really learned the science of epigenetics. It's a study that came out basically in the 1990s, that it's not so much our genes that determine our outcome, but it's our genes or our cells' perception of the gene, and perception of the environment controls the gene. You can rewrite your genes. It's like, what? Fascinating. So why is my doctor even asking me if heart disease runs in my family? Well, here's the interesting thing. If a kid is adopted into a family where heart disease runs in the family, guess what the kid's probably going to get?
Heart disease.
It's not the gene. It's the perception. It's the programming of the subconscious mind. It's fascinating. So, I mean, there's nothing in our lives that's not controlled by our perception, our filters, and that is our subconscious programming. So you can give me any topic, whether it's money or relationships or health or anything.
Don't know what happened there.
You're back in the waiting room.
I don't know what happened there. This happened to me the other day. Be live, please shape up. Love you.
Yeah, right.
Okay. You were talking about the power of the subconscious mind. You were talking about how it controls everything, money, relationships. There were a few other things there, and that's what happened right before we dropped.
Okay. So that's why I can change my message, because behind anything happening in your life is a printout of your subconscious programming. Period. That's it. You're only in control of your own self, your own life, 1 to 4% of the time. It's just how we're built. That's how we work. And usually our programming, we got it from when we were about 0 to 7 years old. And it's what we heard and what we felt and what we experienced. Whether we liked it or not, that became our programming. And so we spend the rest of our life proving to ourselves that that is our reality. And a lot of times we don't like that. We don't like that reality. And so we want to change it. So what do? We set goals and we try harder and we say affirmations and we read positive books and we go to seminars or whatever we do. This time, starting Monday, this time, we try to overpower the subconscious mind. Well, there's an easier way. You can reprogram the subconscious mind so that locomotive of power is behind your goals, pushing you to your goals instead of, dragging you off track every time you turn around. So, I mean, I love sharing that because most people don't know that. I did not know that. I had no idea. And it's transformed my life. It's so happy and healthy and joyful now. And it used to be such a struggle. So let's let go of the struggle. Let's give it up. I mean, why have that? I don't want that.
Well, and it continues to amaze me that part where you're having a physical pain.
Yeah.
It's not The cause is somewhere else.
Right.
Like when you have an itch and you think it's at the side of your head and you scratch it and it's still there. It's coming from somewhere
Right.
else,
Right.
And the 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 instinct to think about physical pain having a physical origin, that
Yes.
is it's not even questionable in most people's minds. And
Right.
and so you're presenting, that in fact it can be very different.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a doctor, Dr. John Sarno, and he studied this principle and he helped over 9,000 people become free of chronic pain over 25 years. And here's what he told them. He said, here's how the subconscious works. An emotion starts to bubble up to the surface. And when it gets close to consciousness, your system says, no, that's scary. I don't want that. So what does it do? It distracts you with physical pain. And here's how it does it. Ischemia, a lack of blood supply to a certain part of the body. Say it's that dang shoulder that's just always killing you, or that knee, or that back, right? And what happens? Then you focus on your body. You're no longer focused on what's going on in your subconscious emotions. And so it's like a little trick our system plays. And so he had seminars teaching his patients this thing that the body does, this little trick the body plays. He said about 20% of them became pain-free just from hearing it. And I actually experienced this the other day with a lady. She called me, chronic pain, had to quit her job, started another job, was like on, they were going to fire her again because of all her pain and stuff. And she said, literally, I'm 75% better just from talking to you on the phone. It's like we made the connection of what is actually going on. And this happens, the poor people that are perfectionists, it happens to us more than to the rest of you. If you're a perfectionist personality, there's so much tension and drama in there trying to get everything perfect, and so many emotions that the subconscious is like, oh, we got to cool that one down and tame that one and put that one out. And we get anxiety and depression and physical pain. And so we can reprogram that stuff here at Balanced You. One, by helping you understand what's actually going on, which may cure the pain. Second is by reprogramming the subconscious mind. Pain is a pattern in the brain, and we just disrupt that pattern and reroute it a different direction. And we can do it long distance. We don't even have to be with you. Two of our facilitators at Balance We only work online. And so, how easy is that? Decide what you want different in your life, call us, reprogram it. It's different. It's so easy.
It is an easy process. And I would like everyone to know this breakingtobeme.com. I've got it down in the comments as well, just the link if you want to click it. If you go there, go down to the bottom of the page, you'll get into the bot. Obviously, you can buy the book. You can read an excerpt of the book. You can schedule a 30-minute free appointment with Jenny and her team.
Yeah.
That is some great value. If you have chronic pain, if you know somebody who suffers from it, and most of us know someone, this is some real value that people are finding from working with Jenny and her team. And it's an amazing thing. I love hearing you talk because, well, there are many reasons, but one of the reasons is that you're kind of talking my language when you're talking about reprogramming things.
Yeah.
Because in computers, it is so often you're looking at this spot for the problem, and the problem's over here. Problem's over here. There's a disconnection over here that's just not working.
Yes.
And you've got to trace your way back and look at that, and just to know that so much of our lives are controlled by something else. Right. The rebel in me wants to go, well, no, I don't want that to be controlled by something else, the subconscious or whatever, it just makes the rebel in me go, no, I don't want that. But yeah, so how long have you been pain-free and helping other people become pain-free?
Yeah, so it was about the end of 2015 when I became pain-free, and immediately I started learning and studying and practicing with my friends and family, and I wanted to help everybody immediately. I thought, geez, so many people are struggling, and people that you think aren't struggling are struggling, just like me, And so I wanted to be able to help people. So yeah, it's been a while now. I've seen so many people. My files are packed with clients, and I love just going back through and reading all the successes, because I meet with them, we do the mind reprogramming, and then a week later I call them to see everything they noticed different in their life. And I'm telling you, they're like, is this real? I mean, is this a setup? How could it be this good, this fast, this easy? I didn't have homework, I didn't have to say anything or do anything. It's just, I'm different. I feel different. I see things different. And so it's fascinating. I love it.
That is fascinating. So, I mean, the success rate, right? Everybody wants to know what's the success rate and all of that kind of stuff. That's every time I talk to you, and I talk to you a lot, you are telling me about a success story coming from your office. And that just has to be the most gratifying thing in the whole world.
Yeah. I especially love it when a doctor comes in with pain and I can help them, because I have no medical degrees, right? And it's amazing. All I have to do is help them tap into their subconscious mind that has all the answers, and we figure out, what do we need to reprogram? Now, the cool thing is, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a priest, I don't need the backstory, I don't need any confessions. If we're going back, when we say that in this process, it's like, was there a car accident that caused trauma? It's not like we got to relive the past. So I love that part of this process, because reliving the past, not so fun. Not so fun. I don't want to drag people through that. And we don't have to. Bruce Lipton, cellular biologist, he says it's like when you take your shirt to a tailor and you say there's a hole in it, can you sew it up? And they say yes. They don't say, well, tell me, sir, how did this tear actually happen? It's like, it's irrelevant. Just fix the hole, right? Sew it up. And that's what this process does, which is different than a lot of other subconscious processes where you have to relive stuff. So I like, the easier the better. Let's just reprogram it and move forward with a happy life.
And I like that too, because practicality, the world moves so fast these days, and like it or not, we are moving right along with it. And there's a tendency, I think, for all people, whether they have chronic pain or not, to have things that are sort of unprocessed, hanging out, and I think that, the world is not changing anytime soon. Besides technology, that will change in the next 24 hours, but that's not our conversation today. The amount of stuff coming at us is not going to change anytime soon. And so finding a way to process some of these things is valuable, would be valuable to all people.
Right. Absolutely. The subconscious mind is timeless, meaning anything traumatic that happened, whether it was somebody telling you don't do that, or whether it was a car accident or some abuse or anything traumatic in your whole life, you can reprogram that in the subconscious mind, and it just settles it out. So when you think about it, it doesn't feel traumatic, and you're not having the physical reaction of the stress or the trauma or the drama or the pain or the discomfort or the whatever condition you may have. The doctors don't know why, like say fibromyalgia or something like that. We have all this tension going on in the body, and it causes pain. And with the subconscious mind, you can release pain, release all that junk from the past that you don't need to be dragging along with you. I mean, the subconscious is like this so that life is easy, right? We learn to walk, we can walk. We don't have to think about walking. We learn to drive. Remember the first time? I'm teaching my third daughter how to drive right now. Oh my gosh, right? It's like, it's a lot to think about when you're new at it, but once you've been doing it a while, it's no big deal, right? So that's how the subconscious works. It's there to support us so we can multitask and do all these things. We don't have to consciously think about it. But when we have stuff in our subconscious that doesn't support us, it's the same way. It's just always there, always getting in our way. And so it's like, let's just get that junk out of our way. I read a Harvard study the other day that said 70% of our thoughts are negative. Like, how do you move forward with that? So let's like clear through all those cobwebs and start fresh. So, we got a new year. It's 2019. What do you want in your life? And what's keeping you from getting there? I'm telling you right now, it's your subconscious programming. So you can try to power through it and be more mindful and recommit yourself every day and try to fight those patterns. That's fine. Or you can reprogram the subconscious so that those goals happen automatically, and then you just allow it to come in. I mean, I like the easy route. I'm all for easy. So that was my choice.
That's a beautiful choice. Anybody in the audience have any questions? Throw them down in the comments so that we will be able to grab those. And yeah, so how do there's this exciting book launching today. There's a whole lot more new eyeballs on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself going in 2019 then, my friend?
Oh, I'm excited. I love speaking and sharing my message with the world. So I hope to be on stages everywhere. If you have a stage, please invite me. I love to share this message about the power of the mind to transform your life, your health, your business, your relationships, your success, all of it. It's where I want to be this year. So I've already got a bunch of flights lined up, and I'm so excited about that. So that's my goal. And building the team here at Balanced You, my facilitators are amazing. People are like, no, we want you. And you can hire me, but my facilitators I hire because sometimes it's hard to see your own stuff, right? I can work with myself and reprogram my mind, but sometimes like a step back from yourself is easier. So I hire them, and every time I am blown away at the talent of the facilitators that I've hired. So they're just fascinating. So you can live anywhere in the world. You can set up an appointment with us and do it over Zoom and be changed, because we walk you through the process. It's a physical process that you'll do it. We'll show you how to do it over the Zoom call. So you'll learn how to reprogram yourself, and then you're off. Anything ever comes up that's in your way, you just reprogram it, and you're done. Powerful. Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Well, I am, and it's to have that available at no cost as well is really super cool. So, beautiful, wonderful, lively, inquisitive audience. If you suffer from this and you want to give Jenny's program a try, it's breakingtobemean.com. You'll learn a little bit about the book, read an excerpt if you want, schedule an appointment if you want. And if you know anybody who could use this stuff, please point them towards, share this out with them, and let them know there's a different way. As the title of Aaron's show was today.
Awesome.
And Jenny, I want to thank you for taking your time on launch day, coming on the show and sharing all this knowledge with us.
Thank you for building my bots. You are amazing at what you do, and I'm so happy I've met you and so glad to be your friend, and we're going to have a lot of fun in the future together. So thank you.
We are. I don't know if you know this, but Becky Norwood and I made an appointment for 5:00 today, Central Time.
Yes.
To demo your excerpt on your Facebook page.
I heard about that. I'm super excited. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so great. Love all you guys.
Well, we're firmly in the Jenny Harkleroad corner. We're having banners made, so just so you know.
Well, at Rotary the other day, they wrote a song about me. So, keep up here. Has multiple verses. It's pretty cute. To the tune of Davy Crockett. Yeah, it was adorable.
All right, silly. My friend. Well, it's about time to wrap up. So if anybody has any questions for Jenny, toss them in the comments. We will get back to them. And boy, thank you again for hanging out with us.
Yes.
Bot signal people will be. Oh, that's right. Yes, please. Get that book cover out. That's amazing stuff. I have now a couple of friends who have written books, and frankly, I'm jealous. Anyway,
yours is coming.
Yeah, it's coming. I know. God, that Becky Norwood is awfully convincing, isn't she?
Yes. And I know someone who can help you program your mind to make it easy.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. So I'm going to return next week, everybody, on Tuesday. But on Thursday, I am heading out. I'm going to be on a plane and then on a boat with the person sitting virtually next to me.
Yeah.
And I will be gone for an entire week, so you will not hear too much from me. I'll probably have a couple of things set to premiere, but I will be busy learning things that I will bring back to all of you. So thanks for watching today. If you never want to miss another bot signal, type live in the comments. That will help. Then you'll get a reminder every Tuesday, Thursday. And until I see you again, I will see you in a bot.